Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Draw Something. My name's Andy, and I'll be here drawing for the next couple hours. Fergal at Ferguson, welcome to the show. And yep, that's what I have on screen every week before the show officially starts, is a slideshow of last week's drawings. So the theme this week is don't bug me. It's a funny way of saying the theme is bugs. Insects, butterflies, ladybugs, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm doing tonight. So, I already got a couple prompts ready, but I am open to suggestions or requests. So just let me know in the chat if you have something you want me to draw. I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. Alright, so why butterflies are called that? Let me see. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Fergal, I could maybe make that into a drawing. Let me add that to my list here. Alright. I'll get to that one next. Thank you, Fergal. Alright, so what I'm doing here is, why are butterflies called butterflies? Because there's nothing really buttery about them. They have, like, they should be called, like, you know, big winged flies or something, but calling them butterflies is... Oh! H.R. Johnson, I don't think it's just for you. I think I forgot to turn the music down after I started the stream. And, if I'm not mistaken, my camera's looking like it's going a little fuzzy. Hold on just a second. Let me fix that really quick. It's weird. Okay, there we go. It's back now. Had to readjust it after the cooking stream on Sunday. Had it kind of all adjusted differently, so I had to readjust it to, you know, look down at my paper correctly. Okay, so, H.R. Johnson, welcome to the stream. Fergal, you always bring a smile to my face. H.R. Johnson, no problem. Well, tonight's theme is bugs. And I know that there's, like, apparently there's, I just found this out yesterday when doing research. Bugs really only constitute, like, a small fraction of what we actually like, there's a lot of things that we call, animals that we call bugs that aren't technically bugs. Like, insects are not most insects are not bugs, ants are not bugs. And there's several other insects or, you know, little tiny animals that we call bugs that aren't actually bugs. I just learned that, like, yesterday or today. So I'm playing it loose. It's just any insects that you generally, or any of those little animals you generally call bugs. That's what's on the table tonight. Alright, so, let me see if I can get this started here. I'm trying to figure out my footing. H.R. Johnson, that's a very apt comparison. And of course there's the whole, you know, tomatoes actually being a fruit thing. Alright, so what I'm getting to with all this, I've just kind of been rambling. So the butterfly here, his wings are getting kind of jaggy. Well, they're not, the wings themselves aren't, you know, jaggy or anything, but they're kind of, you know, they should be flapping like very smoothly, just instead they're kind of going like they're they need oiling, they need greasing. So, what is something that is greasy that this butterfly can possibly use? Tomatoes are they really, H.R. Johnson? Okay, well I just learned something new today. So yeah, basically he's gonna use he's gonna use butter to grease his wings so they'll, you know, flap properly again. The big twist though is that while he can use butter to grease his wings, some other flying insects will try to use butter, and it'll just make their situation even worse. Their wings will be either get completely stuck, or they'll just be even more off tempo or more off, just not working correctly. Which may be why butterflies are called butterflies, because only they can use butter to grease their wings. It's a bit of a stretch, but I thought it was kind of a funny concept. Eggplants are berries too. Wow, I'm learning everything today. H.R. Johnson has the produce facts, I guess. So I'm drawing some onomatopoeia here. The wings are going ka-chunk, 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 ka-chunk. Clearly showing that they're in trouble. They're not working quite right. Not quite 100%. Yeah, H.R. Johnson, it's funny how that stuff can stick in your brain for so long. Alright, HR, no problem. Thanks for the lurk. Alright, so here I'm drawing a stick of butter he has on a butter dish on a table. Which he's using to kind of just run his wings through. And, yeah, he must be acting super delicately, because, I hear word that butterfly wings are incredibly fragile. So he must know how to be really, really delicate with them so that they don't break. No, I guess considering he must know his own wings better than anyone else. They're his. He has them all the time. Can't get away from them. I like the shape of that wing. We try that again. There we go. Irene Pena Music, welcome to the show. And yes, bees are one of the those are part of the category tonight. It's anything that can be considered a bug. So insects, arthropods, just bugs. Anything that you consider a bug, I'll draw it. Obviously, right now I'm doing a butterfly, and I'm kind of giving a kind of weird explanation for why they're called butterflies, and the reason is because they, sometimes need to grease their wings up so that they are, fluttering rather than going. Their wings gotta be, fluttering smoothly. But, obviously this butterfly's wings are kind of looking a bit janky, or their just movement is a bit janky, so he goes to his, trusty stick of butter and starts greasing his wings. As any butterfly would do. This is scientific knowledge right here. I totally didn't just make this up. Fergal, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, actually, that's a really good way of putting it. I don't think there's any bugs that aren't less than 5 legs. Fergal? That might happen someday. Already got gaming streams and drawing and coloring streams, and last Sunday I just did a cooking stream. Science stream isn't totally out of the question. So there we go. His wings are all greased up and these wings are fluttering again like they should be. So, where was I going with this? Alright, so the other insects, when they try to use butter, it more ruins their wings. add the little divot here that's there in the drawing because he's been sliding his wing up and down in it. So I drew a bee, and I'm drawing a ladybug that are both gazing in awe at the magic stick of butter. Because they haven't actually tried it yet, and they're assuming, oh, this will make our wings all better. Little do they know. Doesn't quite work that way for other insects. Fergal, this is all music from the YouTube audio library. Right now, or that last song was Summer of 1984 by, oh boy, who was the name of that artist? RKVC, apparently. This is Blackberry K2 by Squada B. I don't believe he is a B, as in B-E-E. I think he's just a guy, but yeah, Squada B, just the letter B, is the artist name. So there we go. The bee and the ladybug are staring at the butter, thinking, "Oh, our problems are our prayers are answered." Not the bees! Ah! I've never even seen that movie, but I know that line in that clip, and I love it. Nicolas Cage, master, legend. Fergal, yeah, from what I've heard, I get the impression that's the case. So yeah, the bee's wings, you know, initially, I mean, they were just a little janky moving, but they were still in proper position. Now they're both facing opposite position. They're like, this one's turned this way, this other one's turned this way. There's this buttery goop on them. It's not good, not looking good for him. This is such a random thing that I came up with. I do try to go for, you know, something kind of original, and sometimes that results in something very odd like this. And yet, for all I know, there's another artist who's already drawn this, so it's not even original anymore. I'm just another weirdo that drew this. I can't win. And I also kind of add the stick of butter is a little more misshapen because they didn't delicately put their wings through it like this butterfly did. He was just, did a very gentle motion. Woo, 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 woo. They more than likely just went. So now the butter stick is just kind of misshapen. Oops. So yeah, there we go. There's the first drawing for tonight. Pretty weird, but I sometimes like weird. Let me just put the legs on the butterfly since I forgot to do that earlier. And I think that'll probably do it. Also, I'll just add segmented lines to the butterfly too. Okay, I think that'll do. So we go ahead and date it and initial it. And I'll bring up the close-up view. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and do Ferguson's request that he made a little earlier. He didn't quite have he said the quote, it's a bug, it's not a bug, it's a feature. And just kind of, was like, maybe, actually, I don't know what I'm talking about. Let me go scroll back up to that. This is the first thing he thought of when he saw the theme tonight was bugs, was the quote, it's not a bug, it's a feature. So, I think I might be able to turn that into a drawing. Let me see what I can do. And also make sure that the paper is on camera all the way and not awkwardly partially off camera. Sorry about that. Virgo, I don't know what I'm talking about 90% of the time. You might be hearing coherent English on your end, but I'm just hearing. That's all my ears are hearing. Nothing more. Just wah 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 wah. Nonsense, I tell you, nonsense. Alright, so what immediately came to my mind seeing that quote was, a computer. I suppose you could, it could be a car or some other thing, but I'm just thinking a computer for this. helps drawing the computer monitor than drawing the actual computer. When I was younger, I thought the monitor was the computer. H.R. Johnson, yeah, I'll be streaming on Saturday. That's the plan. Have a great night, HR. Thanks so much for stopping by. I should mention, I'm not going to be doing gaming on Friday this week. I have my younger sister has a play that she's been rehearsing for a couple of months at least, and she's finally, the play is finally happening this Friday, so I will be there to watch it. So, retro gaming is going to have to wait until next week. I mean, I maybe could do it, you know, after coloring on Saturday, but we'll see. I don't know. As it currently stands, I'm going to just take the week off from that. Fergal, yeah, it's finally here. Draw on the monitor. So, going a little on the nose here, the bug sitting on top of the computer monitor has a sign around his neck that reads, "Feature." So, clearly it must not be a bug, it must be a feature. Let me go ahead and stretch this table out a little bit more so I can put the the sale tag have the sale tag sitting on the table. Sale tag sitting, that's hard to say 2 times fast. So here's the guy trying to, dump this computer on the customer who I'm drawing right now. Alright, so I think since I already put the sign, I was originally going to have him saying the line, "It's not a bug, it's a feature," but since it already has that there, I think I'll just let that speak for itself. He's just saying, "Come on, just buy it." Totally not shady in the slightest. And yeah, I think that'll probably do it. Fergal, I hope this works for you. Ah, very good, Fergal. Let me go ahead and bring up the close-up view. Oh, let me draw his other arm, too. He's just, chilling up there, totally not conspicuous. He's a feature, not a bug. Alrighty. Let's see. There we go. Another clean sheet of paper. Alright, so I got another prompt. I got a couple more prompts I can do. But once again, I am open to suggestions. If anyone wants to throw one out at me, I will totally take it on. So I did, the first drawing I did featured a butterfly. Now I'm going to be doing a drawing with fireflies. More specifically, fireflies having a sleepover in a bunk bed. Or maybe not so much a bunk bed as much as a bunk hammock. It's two hammocks that they're laying in. One on top, one above the other. They're supposed to be kids, so I should maybe make them a little smaller now. Those are looking like at least adolescent fireflies. They should be a little smaller. Trace over the hammocks here. Also draw, you know, the glowing behind. There's really no way around it. It's their behind. It's their rear end. It's low-hanging fruit, but I mean that's what it is. Night Princess, Night Fred. And then next panel, they close their eyes and start going to sleep. I guess I'll go ahead and kind of explain where I'm going with this. I wish I could draw at the same speed my mind moves, but it doesn't quite work like that. So basically, they're gonna, go to sleep. Their lights are gonna turn off. View only mode. Sorry about that. View only mode. Thank you for the hydrate. And welcome to the show. Glad to see you here. So they fall asleep and their lights turn off, and seems like all is well. And then the one on the upper hammock, his backside basically turns back on, so the one on the bottom hammock can't go to sleep. And he tries, whispering to him, "Oh, turn off your light. Your light is on." And he's so deep in sleep that he can't even hear him. So it's just kind of a rough situation for the one on the bottom hammock. Ah, turn it off! Turn it off! Ah! Tries to pull the blanket over himself, and just nothing works. Well, I guess in this case he would be, like pulling the hammock over himself. He doesn't really have a blanket. But this is maybe why Fireflies shouldn't have bunk bed sleepovers. Now I'm drawing the third panel where things take a turn. Oh, hold on a second. Not really a fan of how I drew that. Let me erase that and try again. There we go. So his light turns on, the one down below is like, oh. Hey, Fred, your light is on. Turn it up. Fred! Alright, now I cut to the next morning. Alright, there we go. So that finishes the story. Next morning, oh, what a great night's sleep. I feel so refreshed. Yeah. It's a rough gig. So let me go ahead and bring up a close-up view. Alright, there we go. Once again, line is open for requests or suggestions. The theme tonight is just bugs, any bugs you want. Any idea you have featuring bugs, I'm just throw it out at me and I'll draw it on paper. Got 2 more prompts for myself, and after that it'll just be see, I can't even come up with what I'm gonna say next. See, that's the thing. When I try to come up with stuff on the fly on stream, I struggle, which is why I have prompts that I make for myself before the stream. So yeah, by all means, if you have any funny ideas involving bugs, let me know in the chat and I'll add it to my list. Already got 1 funny request from Fergalson. I am totally open to more. Alright, so this is going to be kind of a fly trilogy, I guess, because that last one was Fireflies, the first one I did was had a butterfly. This one's going to have a dragonfly. Here what I'm drawing here is a dragonfly who, decides to try and bring out his inner dragon. In quotes, inner dragon. Because, he's a dragonfly, so that must mean that there's, some dragon in him. Business insect? Fergal, I like that idea. I'll go ahead and add that to my list. It's gotta be something I can come up with for that. So he tries to evoke or invoke. He tries to bring out his inner dragon by attempting to breathe fire. So he does this with a couple different things. Right now he's trying it with a candle. Trying with the candle doesn't seem to be working. This is gonna try with a pile of logs. Like basically a campfire without the fire, just you know some logs stacked up on top of each other. Sorry, looks like the logo up there is blocking the text. Let me go ahead and fix that issue. Hold on a second. I was trying to draw a tiki post, and I just realized while trying to draw a tiki post, I don't really know how to draw a tiki post. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up a reference here. The tiki torch, to be more specific. I guess it'd be more like a bamboo torch. So let's do that. maybe it's just a sign that I'm not 100% confident in my drawing abilities. I'm going to go ahead and label this as a bamboo torch, just in case it's not entirely evident. When I color it, it'll probably help. I can give it a specific color that'll make it look more like a bamboo torch. But for now, I'll go ahead and just label it, just to be safe. So I'm going to cut it to him sitting in his bedroom, looking at his giant dragon poster, breathing fire, trying to, you know, really inspire that inner dragon and bring it out. Alright, so there we go. He's trying to inspire himself. Summon your inner dragon. Summon your inner dragon. Summon your inner dragon. Alright, so there we go. A dragon trying to breathe fire. Because, I mean, he has the word dragon in his species name. It should be possible. Will his dream come true? I don't know. I'll leave that up to the viewer's interpretation. Oh, let me add a little extra something here to make this flow a little bit better. There we go. Alright, that should do it. Alright, Ferguson wanted me to try drawing something business insect. Insects. Could be just one business insect. It could also be 2 or 3 business insects. So let me see what I can do here. I could do bees, I could do ants. I can do butterflies again. You know what? Maybe I should come back to this one. I'm not really coming up with anything. So I'll go ahead and do my last prompt here. See how that goes. Starting out by just drawing the Ladybug, just lying here relaxing. But of course, this is all just a build-up to something sudden. So there we go. There's a leaf that it's sitting on. A couple of nice white puffy clouds, happy little clouds there. Which is gonna, I just thought of this is gonna actually play a part in the next scene. Next panel, I should say. Panel C, it doesn't really matter. Drawing a bird flying in out of nowhere, and as I'm going to draw in just a second, it basically bursts through this cloud, these clouds that are right here. Just happen to noticing clouds, and this jerk bird just goes, just blows them all away. Not a good look. So here's where things start to kick into high gear. So the spots on the back of this Ladybug suddenly come to life and start jumping off of her back. But that's just the first part. This is just part one. But it's already kind of like, oh boy, what's gonna happen next? Alright, so our spots all fly off. And the spots themselves turn into miniature attack ladybugs. And I'm gonna do this in the coloring part on Saturday, but since they start out as black dots, but then they turn into black ladybugs with red spots. Basically, they're inverted color ladybugs. They're obviously quite a bit smaller than their mother, but they're super vicious and ready to attack whatever they're psyched on. Looks like the camera's getting a little fuzzy. Or the light was just the glare was getting a little rough there. Okay, I think it's fine now. Ah, Fergal, that's always a classic. So yeah, this last scene is just the Ladybug just going back to laying and taking a nap while her minions kind of just beat up the bird. Well, they don't kind of beat up the bird, they totally beat up the bird. So I guess, actually, compared to the original size of the dots, I kind of did these completely out of proportion. They should be a lot smaller than this. sorry about this. For all these big ladybugs, and I feel like it would be, I guess they could have just, grown in size, but I already erased them, so I'll just make them the size they were before, roughly the same size they were before. They start out this size, they maybe grow a little bigger when they morph into attack bugs. But they're still relatively small. But they can still do a whole lot of damage. Draw some marks on him, some bruises and stuff. Yeah, this bird messed with the wrong ladybug. I think that'll probably do. So yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Ladybug summons his or her minions, and they beat up the bird for him. Alright. I think I'll try and go ahead and take another stab at Fergal's request for a business insect. But of course, why just go with a business insect when I can go a fancy business insect? Wow, my words are not connecting. quite right. For those who have been on this show or been around for a while on this channel, one of my running gags for characters is making them fancy. We've had a couple of characters like the Fancy Giraffe. The Fancy Giraffe is the most famous one. He even has an emote. Let me go ahead and drop that emote in the chat. And thank you, Virgil, for the hydrate. There we go. That's the Fancy Giraffe. We've also had a fancy dinosaur, a fancy bird. I think there's always one other fancy animal that I've drawn, but I can't remember what it is at the moment. But yeah, here we go. We got the fancy business ant. Virgil, that is 100% correct. Tally ho! Of course, I'm going to give him a cane, because it just seems like an appropriate thing to give him. Let me try that again. And of course, like all my other fancy animal characters, I'm not going to have them smile, just kind of have a blank expression or stern look. That looks sad, looks a little too much like a smirk. Hold on. I'll go ahead and trace over this while I'm formulating in my head what exactly the business is that got him to be so rich and allow him to be so fancy. I mean, he could have just inherited it, but I think, you know, Virgil did ask for a business insect, so I should definitely have him connected to some kind of business. Seems only right. mean, Fancy Ant could be his nickname, but I think I should give him a proper name. Let me see. Fergal, that's a good one. I think I came up with an idea of my own, though. That could be his nickname. That's what his inferiors call him. Only those on his same level, which there's a very small number of, can call him by his true name. But yeah, all of his underlings must refer to him as Mr. Fancy Ant Esquire. And they have to include the Esquire, otherwise he won't say anything to them. He won't even acknowledge the fact that they even try to get him to talk to them. So, Bugsus D. Insecticus. Lots of us's in this name. Virgil, I'm glad you approve. This was your request, after all. Oh, hold on. Bugsus D. Insectus. There's more to it. Hold on just a second. The fourth. Bugsus D. Insectus the fourth. Tallyhold capital. Hold on. Try to do another special font here. So, what did he create to make himself so rich? Well, it's a little thing called the super antennae. And it's antennae, or antennas. It's, you know, a set of antennas that work like TV antennas or radio antennae. Basically, the ants can have these installed so that they can tune into the radio or tune into TV using their own antennae on their head. It was a super revolutionary idea, so you can imagine how he became so rich. And if you want to know just how significant this product was, not only is it trademarked, but the trademark of it has a trademark. Trademark squared. Kimbalulu, thanks so much for the follow. Greatly appreciate that. And welcome to the show. This is live drawing by request. Right now I'm doing, tonight I'm doing bug drawings, so if you have a request you want to throw out there, by all means, drop it in the chat. Yes, Fergal F. Ferguson, all the trademarks. And the score is now 750 to 2. What a nail biter! I'm a bug, I'm a bug, I'm a bug. And here we go. He also has a whole ant hill that he uses for storing his riches. Usually ant hills have, you know, tons and tons of ants working in them, and it's like a whole big, you know, hive meeting center for all these ants. Here it's just a place where he stores all his riches, all his money. Because, you know, he can afford that. I think that'll do. Well, sorry, Coin, I'm gonna have to erase you to make room for Fergal's name. Alright, let me go ahead and bring up the full-size view. Alright, so I think that's gonna probably do it. I went through all my prompts, all the requests I got. I think I got a solid 6 drawings out of this, so that's good. We've been going for a little over 2 hours. I think that's a good roundup. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick recap of all the drawings I did tonight, and then I'll find a raid target and raid out. Alright, so let me see here. Alright, so starting off the night, I gave a kind of goofy explanation for why butterflies are called butterflies. Basically, butterfly here, his wings are kind of jerking around. They're not fluttering smoothly, so he uses butter to, kind of, grease them and make them flutter smoothly again. But then a bee and a ladybug try to use butter to accomplish the same goal, but instead they just kind of end up jacking their wings up. Their wings are just kind of, they're not in good shape. They're kind of stuck, malfunctioning. Instead of that, smooth little divot in the stick of butter like, the butterfly left, there's this big old chunk of the butter missing. So yeah, really only the butterfly has the delicate nature to use butter to grease his wings, which is why he's called a butterfly. Yeah, it's a little forced, but I don't know, I thought it was kind of funny. Alright, next up for Fergal F. Ferguson, he thought of the common line, it's not a bug, it's a feature. So I got this guy who's trying to pawn off this computer for $100 to this customer, and of course there's this bug here on the computer, but clearly it's labeled as a feature, so it can't be a bug. And yeah, but still this guy seems a little suspicious. Like, maybe this guy's not entirely, doesn't have the most integrity. Alright, next up we got a Firefly sleepover. A bunk bed sleepover, no less. These two fall asleep. Francis and Fred fall asleep. Fred's on the top bunk. Suddenly Fred's, while they were sleeping, Fred's light turns on, waking Francis up. And Francis tries to get Fred to turn it off, but Fred doesn't even hear him because he's too deep in sleep. So Francis, waits the whole night to see if, the light will finally turn itself off. It never really does. And then the next morning, Fred is all well rested while Francis is just super tired. You can see his eyes are red. He's looking pretty rough. So you can kind of see the veins in his eyes. Next up, I got a dragonfly trying to bring out his inner dragon by breathing fire. He tries it on a candle, he tries it on a pile of logs, he tries it on a bamboo torch. And he doesn't manage to do it, but he does go back to his dragon poster in his room and start really concentrating. Summon your inner dragon, summon your inner dragon. Will he manage to finally breathe fire? Who knows? And next up, we got a Ladybug that suddenly is confronted with an angry bird. No pun intended. So her spots all fly off and they turn into little fighting attack bug minions and they beat up the bird. The bird chose the wrong ladybug to mess with. And then finally for Ferguson, a business insect. Here is Buxus de Insectus IV, Ant Millionaire. A fancy ant millionaire. Who got super rich by creating the super antennae accessory, where the ants are able to put on, basically replace their antenna with TV antennae, and can basically tune into sports or tune into the radio. And he has so much money that he has an entire anthill for storing his money. That's a lot of riches he's got there, Mr. Insectus Esquire. You gotta call him. You gotta include the Esquire if you're not on his level, and I'm not a millionaire, so I have to just call him. I have to use the special Esquire term so I don't get in trouble. I think it's like actually a punishable offense if you don't use the term Esquire after his name. So yeah, let me go ahead and see who's live right now. HR Johnson is live. She was here earlier. I'll go ahead and rate her. Minnie Moon P is also live. I think I rated her last week, so I'll go ahead and do HR this week. Thank you to everyone who tuned in and watched. And Fergal, thanks so much for the awesome requests. And I'll be back on Saturday with a coloring stream where I'll color all these drawings. I got nothing else to say, so let's go see HR Johnson, and I'll see y'all later. Have a great night, everyone.